The hottest street boys, hottest street boys, hottest street boys. It's the hottest street boys.
Like and subscribe. Hey everybody, we want to thank you so much for voting for us for Best of the Pine Belt, Best Podcast. I actually didn't even know we were nominated until point being, it's really cool to win because we didn't expect that at all. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Remember, if you haven't done so, like and subscribe. You can also follow us on Patreon if you want. What else? You check us out on social media. And that's really it. We want to get into the show because we got a lot to cover. First, we want to hit Laughs for Life.
Laughs for Life.
Our good friend Jamie Arrington of Hub City Comedy invited us to come see the show. And man, it was amazing.
Such a good time.
It was so good.
A lot of people, too. It was great to see so many people out enjoying, the Sanger Theater.
Nate Bargatze was the headliner, and the opener, Leanne Morgan, before Nate, I've never seen someone with a crowd so in the palm of her hand before. Like, y'all, it was comforting, too.
She killed it, man.
She killed it, but it was like, it had an edge, but it was also like, I wanted her to make me like biscuits too. Is that weird?
No, yeah. I guess. I mean, I feel like she would definitely know how to make some delicious biscuits.
I guarantee you her biscuits are fire. So, yeah. Man, she was awesome. And then Nate Bargatze, bro, you can tell that guy is pro.
He is. And, yeah, I got to see him a couple years ago. He opened for Tig Notaro at Laughs for Life, and he killed it then. And then to see him again, it was awesome.
Yeah, his stuff about being the firstborn, being the oldest sibling, it's real. It hit home for me.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know about that because I'm the youngest.
Oh, man, just like having to, I don't want to give away any of his stuff, but man, it was so good. And then after we went and got food at Colludium, that was the first time I'd actually gone and hung out for like an extended time.
Man, that Colludium's food is off the chain.
Everything needs to be truffle fries. What are we doing with our lives making fries that aren't truffle fries?
You got like fries on fries, didn't you?
I did. I kind of broke from my diet. It was delicious.
Yeah.
I had the bacon chicken ranch fries.
Yeah.
And then I also had the beer cheeseburger.
Yeah.
With a side of truffle fries, and I regret nothing.
Yeah, as you should not. Yeah, please don't regret that.
What'd you have?
I got the Rosemary's Baby Swiss. I don't know. It's a delicious burger, and yeah, it's Baby Swiss, so it's delicious. And then I got the truffle fries, and they also make this curry ketchup, and it's amazing.
Yeah, you got to check it out. And then they're doing beer Olympics are coming up. They also have like video game tournaments too.
Yeah, they do a trivia night.
There's tons of board games there. I mean, was there a foosball table as well?
I believe so.
And that would be the perfect. The Southern Miss soccer field is right there.
Yeah.
You've alluded to, and we're gonna kind of like do some work towards.
Yeah.
Maybe if that was like the official Southern Miss football pub.
Yeah.
That would be pretty sick.
Yeah, I'll have to. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
You have channels to go through, so
exactly.
I get it. I'm blowing you up on the spot.
Don't make me harp on it now.
But and then we got to MC the Best of the Pine Belt Awards. That was wild.
That was wild. That was such a fun time, and it was amazing to see so many people. So many people actually dressed up and got into the theme, which it was a roaring 20s type of feel. So we had a lot of flapper dresses, a lot of guys dressed up wearing fedoras and looking like gangsters. And we were wearing our tuxedos that had tails. So I've never worn a tuxedo with tails before.
Bro, and I just realized that my haircut is so Billy Zane in Titanic. That's not the character you really want to be in Titanic, but I mean, I'll take it, It was pretty epic.
Well, the night gave me the perfect excuse to wear a top hat that my friend Brian Evans gave me. Shout out to Brian Evans.
B-Rye.
Yeah.
Huge friend of the show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got to wear the top hat finally. It fit the theme.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was perfect. And it was really cool getting to get up on stage. We did have an issue with the microphones. I could not turn on the second microphone.
Yeah, little technical difficulties right from the get.
And then there were people who were telling me something about, like, it was loud in the back, which we had no control over. And it's also kind of the room. It's a square room. It's not a theater.
Yeah, the acoustics are a little weird in there.
Yeah, so that's really hard to figure out. But other than the 30 seconds where we couldn't turn the microphone on that felt like 20 minutes, it all went really well.
Yeah.
And it was wild getting to announce ourselves as winner of Best Podcast. Because I honestly did not expect that at all.
I didn't either. I really didn't.
I kind of don't even, like, how did we even, who nominated us? It's one of those, like, that's not why we're doing this at all. But it is really nice.
It's nice just to be, nominated.
Once again, being around a lot of different people in one place was very grateful that we got to do it. And then, speaking of your shirt, your American Outlaws shirt.
Yeah.
We had a big weekend for USA Soccer at the Keg and Barrel.
That is correct. I saw the semifinals last week. U.S. men played against Qatar, and we won that, so we got to play in the finals, and we had to play against Mexico, as you know. And it was a crazy game, back and forth. U.S. were kind of getting dominated in possession, but went into extra time, and like right before it would have gone into PKs, we scored a magical moment.
It was a great header. The guy too never made U.S. national camps. I think he played for Syracuse, played college soccer, and like kind of an underdog story. It's really great that he got that opportunity. And the cool thing about the Keg and Barrel is it's an American Outlaws chapter. If you don't know what the American Outlaws are, that's the U.S., the official United States Soccer fan club support. Support group, whatever.
Our friend Justin Schmidt pretty much started this right before the World Cup of 2014. Mm-hmm. It became like, all right, we're going to be an AO chapter. And I think we were given chapter number 135 because, there's chapters all over the country and possibly in other places. But, yeah, it's cool to be in an environment like that where a lot of people are watching the games and you meet new people. Mm-hmm. I was at the game. I met a guy he's at Southern Miss doing biology stuff. He's doing his master's in biology, but he came from Indiana or somewhere. And, yeah, he's a soccer fan. So,
well, they have to have the U.S. games on at least one television. That's the rule to keep your membership up to date, and that's never a problem at the Keg. But it's cool if you know that there's a U.S. soccer game going on. Maybe you don't even really care about soccer. You just kind of want to get into it.
Yeah,
Keg and Barrel's a place to go because you can go meet people from. Sometimes there's people from all over the country. And that's cool. It's a cool fandom, where you go to different cities. So you go to like Nashville.
Oh yeah.
You go to the AO bar, and that there's kindred spirits.
You meet all kinds of people, and we've traded scarves with people all across the country. Again, to join the American Outlaws, it's maybe like $25. They give you a shirt, they give you a bandana, they give you some free swag stuff. If you want 10% off of this or whatever, they'll give you some promo codes. But it's a cool. They call it AO family, and it's like that. You meet people, and next thing you know, you're all hanging out and watching soccer together. Maybe you're staying at an Airbnb in Nashville together and enjoying that kind of stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love that, bro. I love soccer. It's not.
I think yeah,
really
and
it's really hard to tell by looking at.
Well, I want to say that I think when I first met you, it was because of soccer. Like I saw you wearing a jersey or something, and I was like, oh yeah, And it was, I grew up playing soccer, and I know you did, but that was kind of one of the first things that that kind of brought us together as friends.
Yeah, there you go. That's a behind the scenes moment exclusive on the Hardy Street Boys.
Yeah.
How did the Hardy Street Boys meet? Kind of from soccer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not officially, but kind of. So.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited about our guest today. We got Brad Newton of the Thirsty Hippo.
He agreed to do this?
He agreed to do this. So we're going to get to it. I know a lot of people are really... There's all kinds of rumors, and people say, I talked to Brad and this is happening. And other people, I talked to Brad and this is happening. And I've heard the most ridiculous things.
What's going on with the Hippo?
So you're going to find out right now what's really going on with the Hippo with Brad Newton.
Did you change your hair color again?
What do you mean again?
Last week it was blonde, and now it's darker.
When was my hair blonde?
Dude, last week you were talking about how everybody calls you Sunshine, and
Who would call me Sunshine? I'm not a blonde. Look at the color of my eyes. They're like just large pupils.
are you gaslighting me right now? Am I using that term correctly? Is this the first time I'm ever getting to use the term gaslighting?
No one will tell you this, but nobody really knows what that means for sure. No, dude, I'm just messing with you. I was blonde last week. All right, we have Brad Newton. Yeah, that was good. That was good stuff. We have Brad Newton here today. How are you doing today, Brad?
I'm good, Drew.
This is my... Are you just going to slowly roast me this entire episode with my my show voice?
You deserve it.
I deserve it? Yeah.
Well, you hit it hard, and so I just wanted to come, hit it hard with you.
Bro, you nailed it. You nailed it. Man, how have you been? It's been a pretty chill last 18 months, right?
Yeah, chiller than most, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how have you
I
spent
used
your
that-
time?
Okay. Well, let's see. The beginning of the pandemic, I spent my time trying to figure out if we could, hang in there and do what we do, which is live music predominantly, and getting a lot of people together in a room close together, and pretty quickly realized that that was not going to happen. So we decided to shut the HIPPO down. For not forever. That wasn't the plan, and it's still not the plan. But at least until we could make some sense of the safety with getting people together in a room to do a show. So that still hasn't exactly happened yet.
Right.
So now we're just kind of in the planning stages of reopening. Yeah, and we actually had a show. We cleaned up. Most people probably don't know this, but we have a back section to the HIPPO, like that's outside, and we cleaned that up pretty good over the last. I guess it was in June, and we did a benefit show with 3 or 4 bands, right in the middle of July, and it was great. It was awesome. We kept everybody outside. Nobody came in the building. We didn't sell anything. It was just more of like, hey, let's get together and raise money for this family and have a show.
Yeah, and Jamie was actually there.
Yeah, I got to go to it. It was a lot of fun. It was a great energy there, and the music was awesome. MS Paint is one of my favorites around here, so
Yeah.
it was awesome.
So that's great. So is that something that you can do in the future, is continue to just do outdoor events?
That's probably how we'll proceed for at least, I would think, maybe a month and a half to going into October. Yeah, so we have some scheduled now. I can't announce that just because we don't know how the Delta variant will play out in our area over the next at least month, I would think.
Right. Well, and when we talked about getting together, the Delta variant was not a thing. And it just kind of goes to show you how much stuff can change in like the matter of, a couple of weeks.
Right.
Like, and now we're back here. It kind of feels like a little bit like March of last year, a little bit.
It does, except for in our case, we have a plan B, which is that back section.
Yeah.
So we can continue, hopefully continue what we started in July and, do shows.
Yeah. So how did you get into... how'd you start the HIPPO? How'd you get into putting on shows? I want to take it all the way back, because that just made me. I know things are uncertain, and it's your business, and there's a lot of stress involved with all this whole situation. But I already feel better just hearing you talk about it, because the HIPPO is such an important place to so many people, especially in our social circle. How did that get started? How did it turn into what it is right now?
Okay, well, that's about 20 plus years of history, but I'll try to.
Yeah, you have 3 minutes.
Yes. Okay. So me and Eric Eves started the HIPPO in September of 2000, and the idea initially was just to have a place where people could come hang out downtown because there wasn't a lot happening after 2:00, where anything that was open, it was like breakfast and lunch places, and then after 2 they would shut down till the next day. So we wanted to have a spot, and Eric had a building that was perfect for it. So we just built that spot up into a bar over about maybe about an 8 or 9 month period from January till when we opened in September. And opened it up just selling beer, and then we'd have loaves of French bread that we'd get from Albertsons, and goldfish that we'd serve people. Put the Tonys on the goldfish,
Nice.
and just sell beer and soft drinks. But very quickly, within a few weeks, music started happening there. I was in a band at the time, and there was a lot of bands in town, just like there are now, and people needed a place to play. So kind of by default, we just started doing shows, and then it pretty much didn't stop.
Yeah.
And it just kind of grew from there, from local to regional to, national acts, and then acts coming in from out of the country, just all types of people coming in. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of the gist. And then, around 2011, we shut down that spot, and then broke off our partnership, and then I reopened it on McLeod Street, and that happened, I guess we opened in late August 2012. Our first show was the second night we were open there. It was a reggae band from the Virgin Islands, and there was a hurricane coming in.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite nights ever.
It was a good one.
So good, man.
Yeah. And then so since up until March of 2020, we've been operating out of McLeod and still continuing to put on shows.
Wait, 2012 is when y'all went to the new location?
Yeah.
It's already been 9 years. Does it feel like that to you? Like it's already been 20 plus years having that place?
In some ways, yes, but in other ways, no. It just kind of, I don't know. It kind of blurs.
Right.
Nightlife kind of blurs,
Yeah.
And not because you're messed up or anything,
Right,
but just
right.
because it's kind of the same thing night after night, and then things just kind of blur.
Right.
So that kind of skews time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of just jumping from one show to the next show, and
How do you-
good times.
How do you go about like booking talent? Because you've had, it's a place for local bands to play, but then, one of my personal favorites, Snarky Puppy, who has really blown up.
Yeah.
Like how do you find these groups, man?
Various ways. A lot of it is, like in the beginning, in the beginning it was just the people we knew, so mostly local bands. But my band was also touring at the time, so we would meet people. And like an example of that would be Grupo Fantasma from Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
We were playing out in Austin, and some mutual friends of ours, or like we had friends that were friends with the guys in Grupo, and we had maybe 3 nights in Austin, and one of those nights we didn't have a show, and that night Grupo was playing, so we went to this club to see Grupo, and we met all those guys, and they were early in their career, and I was like, hey, if you ever want to come to Mississippi, I have a spot to play. And then we hung out and, became friends, and then they started coming. So that's another way, is like just who you know and connections. And the music world is real small like that. And then you get into the booking agent side, where you just start if you have a spot, and it's going well, like you're treating bands well and people come and have a good time, word just gets around, and you end up, booking agents start hitting you up. And then really you don't have to do too much finding. I mean, you still can do that, like, seek out bands, but a lot of times it just comes to you. And then after that, it's just kind of like a filtering process. Like,
right.
What do I want to book this night? And will the blues... You don't want to do like 2 blues nights in a row necessarily, because then your crowd would be the same. So, you might want to do like a rock and roll show, metal show one night, blues one night, jazz another night, and, try to have as much variety as possible.
Well, and the reason I ask is because like it feels like everybody gets to customize their own playlist like on Spotify now, and you can kind of be your own, you know, armchair DJ. But like to be a club owner, to also be a musician, to also be a DJ like yourself, and then to be able to like kind of customize your own playlist, but it's real. It's like people that you're dealing with.
Yeah,
sounds really gratifying. Also incredibly difficult, but very gratifying.
Yeah, it's all of those things for sure.
And it's cool too that you're able to do that now because your place is like it's very much a musician's place. You know, is that something that just kind of happened, or is that something that is at the forefront of your mind when you think about the HIPPO or how you operate?
I think it's just it's like both of those things. I think the advantage of owning a club and being a musician is that I have also gone out on the road to play music, so I know what that's like. I know what it's like to come to a club where everything is like they know you're coming, and they've arranged for it, and they got your flyers, and they put them up, and they have a crowd. And then I've also experienced the club where you walk in and like they didn't even know you were playing that night. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we'll set up over here and we'll run our own sound, and because there's no sound guy here for that. And so I kind of got to experience the good and the bad and knew kind of what to do. And also I'm sympathetic to what a musician has to do to either whether it's their full-time career or just something that they do because they love it.
Right.
And
man.
It's kind of default. But you mentioned Snarky Puppy. That happened as a Scott Johnson. Do you know Scott?
Yeah.
Saxophone player?
Yeah.
So he knew them from North Texas.
Right.
And they were coming through, and he was like, you got to book these guys. And then we did. And then, of course, you know, they kept coming back. You know? Well, up until a point, until they're playing Royal Albert Hall and selling it out.
If you can play in the Netherlands, by all means. But like the thing is with like especially with Snarky, is we ended up becoming friends with a lot of those musicians too. And when you like, I don't know, from the outside maybe you think like being a club owner is like booking bands and selling drinks and food and stuff, which it very much is. But like that changed my life. That band coming to Hattiesburg changed how like I kind of looked at things, changed how like I play match grip because of Sput, like just because I like it's just so much had changed because of that group, that one group coming like once or twice a year. Do people like communicate that to you, like how much the HIPPO has changed their life?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes. And I feel the same way. It's a mutual, because even though I'm in the inside of it, I also get to experience those bands too when they come. So I'll see, I'm a drummer like you. I got to see Sput, this close. Like I got to put mics on Sput's kit as he was behind it. But that extends out to all the bands.
Right.
Because everybody, whether they're way high at this level or even just in popularity or in skill level, or people that aren't popular and maybe don't even have like nearly as like the skill level as somebody like the dudes in Snarky, but they're still that's the power of music. You cannot be that technically great at your instrument, but still you can get across like feeling and emotion and that I don't know. I might have lost my train of thought, but like,
I imagine you getting to see all those different groups. You have stories like I would have about Snarky about lots of different groups.
Yes.
So
endless stories. Yeah. Endless stories.
That's awesome, man.
We could talk about that forever. I could talk about that forever.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I know. Like you're kind of like a musical encyclopedia as well. But one thing I remember you telling me once was, it's cool. The cool thing about music is you're never gonna know all of it. Like you're always going to meet somebody who knows something you don't. And that's what's kind of cool is like you always learning something. It never gets stale if you're in the right environment,
Yeah.
So
and there's if you look on Spotify, the other day we were talking about Ennio Morricone, who was scores. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
Like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and like all those spaghetti western films and stuff. But he sound like, if you look on Spotify and just scroll all albums for him, you know, there's 50 plus records or more. It's ridiculous. So yeah, music, it just never ends. You can always find something, you know, gratifying from all over the world. People have been recording music now for about a little over 100 years.
Yeah.
So you're never going to catch up. There's always something to find.
And they're continuing, and it's only easier now to
Yeah,
do
exactly.
that. I mean,
Yeah.
So what can you can't really give out any dates, I understand.
Yeah.
But you can give...
Well, not the closest ones, I guess. Well, yeah, maybe not any of them. But yes, we will be doing shows in the future.
Okay.
In the fall.
It's all just
For sure.
pending. Yeah. But the HIPPO is here.
Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
And I
know we've been very quiet about that, but you know, there was a lot of stuff to take care of last year.
Well, and also I hate hearing, oh, well, I talked to Brad and the HIPPO's closing. And I'm going like, wait, what? Are you sure?
Yeah,
and
I don't think I ever told anyone that. I also heard I was moving to California to open up a HIPPO.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
Which I thought was funny because if you know me at all, you'd know that I probably can't pull something like that off. Or would even attempt to pull something
So you heard it here, all that gossip. Put that to bed. HIPPO's here to stay, and we're thankful. Do you want to like jam with us for a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
So
That
we're
sounds
gonna
like fun.
do a little jam session. You can follow the Thirsty HIPPO on Instagram at the Thirsty HIPPO.
Been pretty quiet there, but yeah.
But it's there. You have to do that. You have to pitch your social media,
Yeah, we're out there.
regardless of how quiet it is.
You could even hashtag search us. That's fun because then you get to look at other people's pictures that they posted.
Yeah, hashtag the Thirsty HIPPO.
Yeah.
All those links are in the description, and we're gonna jam with Brad. Like and subscribe. You know the deal. Let's go.
All right.
All right.
What's going down in my neighborhood? We got Hub City Beer's Backyard Jam Sessions Wednesday, August 4th at 5:30
What's
p.m.
going down in the neighborhood?
Rashad the Blues Kid, August 8th at 5 p.m. at the Keg and Barrel, out back.
What's going down?
August 14th, all day, the Avenue's Wide Yard Sale. Buy some old mittens. August 21st, we got Summer Tunes with Hub City Sound Machines. That's in the park. Pick up the trash. Be sure to visit HubCityHoedown.com to stay up to date on events in the area. Also, if you have an event you would like to promote on one concise calendar, send it to HubCityHoedown.com. Let's get all our events on one calendar. Come on, Hattiesburg, we can do this. Ooh, yeah. Go, Brad. Go, Brad. Thanks for watching. This was fun. Make sure you follow the Thirsty HIPPO, hashtag Thirsty HIPPO on Instagram. Whatevs. Or just do whatever you want, really.